Well, it's the big season finale, the best night ever. And okay, and I mean, I think I was speculating a couple episodes ago that maybe they were going to do some kind of an arc, some kind of a big finisher, but instead, the grand finale is the Grand Galloping Gala. That party I think, were building up in a couple episodes before, just like here and there, not even one after the other. But okay, so we get to see the payoff to all of that now. Everybody's really excited. It's the big night. Pinkie Pie, after her last episode, seems to be recuperating pretty well. She's bouncing on a trampoline, jumping for joy, doing what Pinkie Pie does, and then just kind of transitions. What it starts out with just basically a little, not a montage, but just their preparation stuff. I mean, this is kind of a day in the life episode, just sort of scaled up is the finale they went with. But we'll get to how I think that works. But okay, so we have Twilight trying to turn mice into horses that gets scared away by Rarity's cat, Opal. And then when she freaks out, like, oh, what are we going to do now? That the gag that, everybody in the town is a pony, so all they have to do is go up and ask nicely for somebody to do them a favor and pull their carriage to the ball. The gala, I don't know, I'm going to probably call it several things before this episode's done, but okay, and then getting ready, getting their hair done, whatever, Spike coming in, making Rarity freak out, like, no, Spike can't come in here, we're getting dressed, until whoever it was, Applejack, I think, points out that, they don't normally wear clothes, so that it's not, usually, it's not something you'd expect to worry about, and, that's cute as long as you don't read too deep into it, I'm sure, which, I don't know, I mean, I've been told that, one of the last episodes that people were drawing, or fans were drawing religious parallels from, so, I'm sure whatever they draw from this I'll see in my nightmares, but, okay, anyway, cut to the ball, they, get there, and they, everybody's lined up to do a big musical number as they enter, and they use the musical number to, recap everything they wanted to do from before when they first found out about this, what all their plans were. Applejack wants to sell apples and make the family some money. Rainbow Dash wants to get into the Wonderbolts, wants to introduce herself to the Wonderbolts because they're going to be here. Pinkie Pie wants to make the best party in the land even better. Rarity wants to meet her prince. Fluttershy wants to meet all the royal animals in the garden. And then Twilight, too, has one. I don't think she mentioned this before, but she wants to spend the night with the princess, Princess Celestia, and talk about everything she's learned, just have some mentor-pupil bonding time. So, okay, they sing about it, and this song is taken out of a musical, too. It's a reworded number from the musical, which is Ever After from Into the Woods, which I was actually in that show once. I was the steward, which, you might have guessed not the biggest part, but even so, good taste in musicals, My Little Pony. So, okay. Anyway, they get to it. Oh, and Spike, though, he wants to spend the night hanging out with his friends, and he's the only one out of the Magic Friendship Pony gang that his best night ever includes hanging out with his friends, but regardless, that's going to be the moral, so they can't learn it right away. They all ditch him, they get to what they wanted to do, and they get to square one just fine. Applejack makes her first sale, which is two-way Wonderbolt, and then Rainbow Dash, after the Wonderbolt nearly drops the pie he just bought from Applejack, she dives, catches it, and reintroduces herself, and they remember her from when they met her in that Sonic Rainboom episode. So, now she gets to hang out with them. Princess Celestia wants to hang out with Twilight just as much as vice versa, so, okay, that seems all well and good. And then, Fluttershy finds the garden. Rarity meets Prince Blueblood, the royal prince who likes to walk around sort of in a constant pose with his head and pick roses and whatever. But he introduces himself. He turns out Rarity catches his eye, and then what else? And Pinkie Pie makes it into the party just fine in the dance room or whatever it is. So. Okay, but then of course things start going wrong. It turns out it was not what they expected. Princess Celestia has to greet everybody at the party one at a time, so she has no time to say anything to Twilight. They just kind of have to stand there together. But and then let's see. Yeah, then same for the Wonderbolts. They're celebrities at a party, so they barely have time to say anything to each other, let alone Rainbow Dash. And okay, Fluttershy finds that the garden animals are a little more timid than what she's used to, so she kind of is thrown off her game. She keeps accidentally making them run away, and then what else? The Pinkie Pie, of course, doesn't really do parties like they do here. Like this is much more low maintenance and high class, and she wants the exact opposite. So when she starts breaking into a dance, just celebrating being there, they all stare at her and make her feel bad. And all right, and I know I missed this. Okay, this Rarity, and the surprise here is that Prince Blueblood is anything but. He's a complete prissy, wussy prince who wants Rarity to treat him like a lady, which there's something kind of brilliant about that one, actually. But okay, so let's see. What did I say? This is what happens when you split the same plot among all 6 of them. Okay, I got Twilight, Rarity, Fluttershy. Oh, Applejack. Because again, it's a high-class party. The Wonderbolts are the only ones who want her apple. Well, she has apple pies, carnival food made from apples, but yeah, nobody wants any of it except for the Wonderbolts, and they can only buy one. They can only buy one thing. But well, so let's see. Then it's kind of. I mean, it's all just like a big. I mean, they don't like. It's not super cut and dry how this is structured. So I mean, yeah, that's very good storytelling. Not so good for having to remember it all. But okay. But yeah. So basically, it's not what they expected. They're disappointed at first, but then they decide to step it up. They're going to make it happen. They're going to go for it. And okay. Rainbow Dash starts trying to knock more things over so she can catch another pony, just some guy that she knocks over and then catches while he's just confused. The Wonderbolts don't even notice. Yeah, drinks and stuff. I mean, when they do notice, somebody comes and drags them away to take another photo or something. So, okay, Pinkie Pie commandeers the music, and they have a little montage with everything going wrong with her. And yeah, she has a good time with that. What is it? The first one is the Pony Pokey, which where do they come up with this stuff? But okay, actually that's pretty self-explanatory. Do the Hokey Pokey and but remix that. But yeah, they once again they're all just like, yeah, this is not that kind of party. Stop with your little girl antics. And she still doesn't get it. She thinks that means they want to party righteously. She now keeps going with the music and does a what she considers a righteous beat that I don't know, but okay, what else? Applejack starts trying to get other ponies' attention, or accidentally make them slip on apples that she's dropped right in front of the stand so she can help them out and offer them stuff, and they just still refuse. So okay, and actually she does almost get a sale from Prince Blueblood, but since he's I'm just an SOB, he makes Rarity pay, and then he's a freaking prince. But yeah, and then Applejack covers the cost for Rarity because she's such a good friend and all that. And and then Prince Blueblood takes a bite, spits it out, and moans that he's almost a what did he say? Common carnival bear. So he's gonna go get some hors d'oeuvres and keep driving Rarity crazy. And okay. Oh yeah, Fluttershy decides she's going to set traps and stuff, but this random janitor keeps messing them up for her, and actually in one case she falls into her net herself, and then, okay, it's just really winding her up. Okay. Somebody, okay, see, this is what you do to me. Maybe, oh yeah, I think that's pretty much everybody. Yeah, okay, I didn't really say Rarity, but yeah, she just keeps trying to give Prince Blueblood time, and he just keeps getting worse. So finally, where it all crashes is when Applejack decides, yeah, her final attempt, she's gonna somehow make all of these apples into a cake. She somehow finds time to make a giant cake, for to make sure she's got something fancy to sell. She walks into the dance room, starts parading it, ready to sell it, but then that's right when Pinkie Pie does a stage dive, and Applejack's cart with the cake on it is the only thing that catches her. Everybody else just moves out of the way. So, it catapults the cake up right to where Rarity and Prince Blueblood are entering stage right, and then, Blueblood sees it flying at him. He grabs the closest thing to him as a shield, and that, of course, is the last straw for Rarity. Covered in icing, she just rounds on him, furious, and just lays into him. Chews him out for being such a self-centered wuss of an SOB, and then he doesn't even care. He's just scared that she's gonna get cake on him. So then she just decides that's when she lets him have it. Just shakes her head right in his face. Flings icing all over him. So he reels back, crashes into a statue. And nicely done, Rarity. That was the beating he had coming. But okay, so then he knocks over the statue. Rainbow Dash thinks that this is now her big chance. She makes a dash, catches it, but then it's a little too heavy for her, so it causes her to stumble around. It knocks over one of those generic pillars that's always in these kinds of scenarios, the ones that are just there so they can have a domino effect, crash into each other, and create a huge wreck. So, okay, and then that's when Twilight enters, and I didn't forget about her. They just kind of left it at she's not able to say anything to the princess. So, okay, but now she and the princess enter. They see the whole room is a wreck. So Twilight says the magic words, it can't get any worse, and then Fluttershy just comes leads every animal in the garden in a giant stampede, leads them right into the ballroom, running away from her while she's screaming at the top of her lungs about, "You're going to love me!" And, okay, so even Fluttershy can go insane, and that now, all the animals stampeding, everybody's running around, it's, just huge mayhem, completely wrecking everything, so Princess Celestia just tells Twilight and Co. to run for it, so Twilight leads everyone out. Rarity loses her glass slipper, and Pinkie Pie points at that, oh, now your princess has to find you. Rarity screams, runs back, smashes it, and drags Pinkie Pie away. So, okay, I think, Rarity's whole plot was probably the highlight here. That was hilarious. But, anyway, they find Spike in the donut shop after he's been ditched. He's just been eating donuts all night, and, all glum, so they join him, though. He jumps up, tries to ask them all about it, but they're all kind of crushed. But then, cut to the end of them, whatever happened, they've all, cut to some time later, there's an empty plate of donuts that I guess they've all finished eating. They've all just, told their story to Spike's saying, wow, that sounds more like the worst night ever, and they all laugh it up over, it pretty much was. But, then Princess Celestia enters and tells them that it was the best Grand Galloping Gala ever, that she always thinks it's terrible because it's always a boring party for the fancy ponies, and I guess, and she has a little bit of a sadistic side, I guess. She was hoping that Twilight and all of her friends coming would help liven things up, and that was exactly what she wanted, the total wreck, so okay. And then she also delivers our moral here about how, even though it might have been what they were expecting, hopefully it didn't turn out so bad for all of them, and turns out, the average worst night ever is perfect for talking it up over a plate of donuts with your friends. So, okay, it's, I don't even know, without even showing us what they said to each other, they kind of get across that, it's like they all told the stories that probably seemed funny in hindsight, and it was a good time. So now, they feel like it was a night well spent after all. And, okay. And that's pretty much where they fade out. And, okay, like I said, this episode is pretty much, they didn't go for another conflict like they did in the first couple episodes, which we haven't had that many of those, but even so, the action-packed dark magic conflict, that kind of thing. I respect that they didn't want to just go that route where everybody would expect them to go for a season finale. Instead, it's a day in the life episode, sort of scaled up to what would be, I guess, a pretty important day in everybody's life. And I think that, in short, I think this was yet another really good one. let me see. I mean, they do manage to just get across like what everyone's going through here, and I mean, that's almost that's something that almost can't be taught. It's like, I mean, it splits the focus between everyone, and there are highlights this time. It's not just like everyone is equally good, because Applejack, Rainbow Dash, and Twilight, they all sort of fade into the background, even though they do all have their nice moments, like Twilight with the princess at the beginning, they sort of hinted that there's a mentor-pupil level of love that, yeah, professionalism keeps below the surface, so, okay, but, yeah, meanwhile, Pinkie Pie trying to liven up the party, that was a lot of fun. Fluttershy going insane was hilarious, and Rarity with Prince Blue Blood was even more hilarious, which, yeah, and finally, the perfect capstone to that, too, where she proves she's made of stronger stuff than he is, but, okay, and just, yeah, all in all, they had a lot of fun with it. It was colorful, it was, a lot to it, and all in all, I just thought it was really well done, really nice day in the life episode that really does bring, I mean, I guess, an experience where, yeah, they get across a lot of the emotion to it, and it's not even like dramatic heartbreak or anything like that. It's just, probably something a lot of people could identify with, have been through kind of at one point or another. So, I mean, that's the difference between 2 dimensions and 3, that you're able to get that across. So, okay, big thumbs up for the season finale, and not so much a thumbs up for my ability to speak, but okay. Anyway, though, since this is the season finale, I guess I should probably give like a progress report this show so far. And I think I said before, I started this out thinking that I was going to be the big neutral perspective here, that I could rein both sides in, the haters, the fans, and as it turns out, though, it was definitely better than I thought it was going to be. I mean, like I said, I gave it a chance at first, just like seeing well, before I even started these video logs, I just kind of gave it a chance to see if it was worth it at all. And I mean, I found one episode that did definitely seem to have the potential this show's lived up to. But I mean, I was surprised though, because yeah, most of the episodes have been more like that and less like the one I found that didn't so much. And I mean, I will look at both of them again when the time comes, because yes, I am going to go on to season 2. I think it seems like, well, from comments and stuff, it seems like they've been saying that, yeah, the show kind of grew and changed. And like I said, with CR's video, he said that season 3, he thinks it crashed. And I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think some of the comments there have been like, no, it's overblown. I mean, some fans think it did, but it didn't. And well, we'll see. I'm interested to get to that too. But okay, so definitely going to see. Sounds like there's more to cover, more to find out. So there's that. And all right, but in the meantime, though, so far, like I said, you've probably noticed I'm not immune to this kind of stuff. Like I said, I really like, for example, Hayao Miyazaki's movies, well, he has action-packed ones that are more the anime you'd expect, but he also has really character-driven movies, day in the life sort of stories, and yeah, I like those just as much. In fact, my favorite movie of his is it's Kiki's Delivery Service, which is a very good character-driven story. I mean, and it's his tween girl coming-of-age story, so that's actually probably more embarrassing than if I were to say I liked My Little Pony. But no, even so, I think it's really good with that. And then the last act is what just pushes it over the top for me. It's a great story about just like inspiration and doing what you love and falling out of sync with it and everything like that. So yeah, if it's done well, I can totally go for this kind of stuff. And I think Kiki's Delivery Service is pretty much a masterpiece of animation. And this, okay, would I say that about this? Am I now a brony and all of that? And call me out for just being modest, but I wouldn't go that far, because, like I said, while it is better than I thought it'd be, yeah, if I were to go around saying I'm a fan of this, yeah, if I were to say that, yeah, that's the marker this show has reached, then I would have to say that about a lot of shows, because, I mean, like I said, I think it's good, but I think that several shows are good. What, Batman the Animated Series, or even Batman Beyond, what, even, well, Dragon Ball, Phineas and Ferb, Fairly Odd Parents, and the list goes on. Even Dragon Ball Z, that got kind of overlong at points, but okay, and so yeah, if I were just pick out this one and say, yeah, in the I'm joining the fan club for this one, that'd be, I mean, there's really no particular reasons to say that. I don't say that about any of the other shows I just mentioned. So, okay, I mean, I don't know if some people go around saying that, yeah, I think it's good, and so I'm a brony just because I like it. But I mean, that's not how I uh, thought it works. But I mean, okay, I guess if being a brony just means you think it's good, then sure. But I like I said, I think it's good. That's not really what I consider being like in the fan base, so I wouldn't say so. But in the meantime, what? Although I also then that said, why do I think it won a fan base, and why do I think this whole phenomenon has happened? And the reason for that, I'd say, because I have, well, like I said, between the comments and just watching the show, seeing what there is to like about it, I am starting to form an opinion on that, because, like I said, I would compare it to sort of a Hayao Miyazaki movie, which is a very impressive road to take, because I think, it's obvious they were trying to sort of retool the ultimate girl pandering show that just was trying to sell tween girls on the idea of stuff they should like, pretty ponies and rainbows and glitter, and I mean, it could have gone just the exact opposite route, trying to sell them on something else that doesn't necessarily make a good story. Just be like, oh yeah, now it's about girl power and how, yeah, you totally are above. I mean, if boys hate on you, you just be who you are. You are just as capable as anyone, and just, I don't know, what am I thinking of anything in particular? Because there's a lot of shows that have done that, and I don't know. Well, they could have made it, yeah, basically the Spice Girls in pony form, something like that. And they didn't. And that it was really smart that they went this route. They instead decided to just make it a genuine story about characters who are characters first and girls second. And I mean, and because they went that route, for anybody, all six have a lot of identifiable traits, which is really cool. You especially in a show that's about female characters, you really don't see that very much. Usually it's just kind of one trait we've seen before, and maybe one character is identifiable, or maybe they're a self-insert character, but that's not the case for anyone here. Like, not even main character Twilight Sparkle is a self-insert character. She has a lot of traits that are really identifiable. Like, if they so chose, they could have made another one of them the main character, and Twilight would have been just as good as a side character. But I mean, she is the one who has the connection with the princess, and she does have sort of the biggest character arc, so that just for that reason alone, that's why she fits as main character. I mean, maybe they could have gone with somebody like Fluttershy. Seems like she's kind of having a character arc too, so I mean, maybe they could have made her the underdog main character. But I think it works as good as it would with anyone with Twilight. So, well done. And so yeah, and honestly, like between the backlash and everybody catching on, like, oh, there's a fan base called Bronies. I can't believe that. I mean, this is not the first show for more of a girl crowd to just win a cult following. Like, what, the Powerpuff Girls has a pretty big cult following, I think, and I mean, that's the only real difference is nobody pigeonholed that right away because it didn't oversell itself on girliness. I mean, they're girl superheroes, so that's almost easier to understand. And I mean, if not for the fact that it's called My Little Pony and it's based on a show that, or it was inspired by a show that really was that girly and that bad, if not for that fact, I don't think anybody would care. I mean, or at least not to this extent. It's just so, yeah. And but naming the fan base Bronies is probably drawing attention to, because, like I said, that's just a name that really draws attention to it. So I mean, the fan base almost seems like they're taking the offensive there, just like, just like, no, don't judge it. We have every right to like this show. I mean, if they didn't have like a name for it, and I mean, it just had a cult following. That's all people heard, and I mean, the message was more like, okay, we like it, whatever. And even then, even that would probably, yeah, not be as big of a deal then. But it's okay. It's just like, yeah. I mean, it's not like I'm holding that against anyone. I mean, I don't hold anything against the fan base. It's, oh, I see you brought this on yourself being too flamboyant. It's like, no, everybody. I mean, a lot of people have clubs that they just give a name to and yeah, play it up, just have fun being that club. So I don't see the big deal with it. And okay, I mean, I see why people make a big deal of it. Yeah, no big deal. It's just people who like a show that's well written and pretty good overall. So okay, I think that pretty much takes care of it. And all right, probably should have organized my thoughts there a little better, but okay. Like I said what I thought of it overall, and that's also it too. Even though that, like I said, it hasn't won me over yet, I judge based on nothing but quality, or I try to anyway. I mean, I'm sure there's stuff I can't help being biased about, but if it gets worse, if season 3 is that big terrible crash, I'll say okay, but season 1 was still a winner and all that. And if it just keeps getting better and it makes me like the show as much as I like Kiki's Delivery Service or something like that, I'll admit it too. I'll say that okay, I guess I have to call myself a brony, but okay. But I have dodged that bullet so far, so we'll see. Season 2 is the next episode. I don't think I even bothered to check, but okay. Well, whatever it is, I'll see you at season 2.